I am lacking stimulus discrimination, meaning I would, one thing will happen and it will make me upset, and I would think that all the other things that are similar to this thing will go the way that will make me upset, even when it's not true. I just cried because I forgot to tell my roommate not to reset the chess set because I was playing chess with my dad, and I was playing chess with my dad, and we were having a good time, and it's taking too much brain energy, and I'm like, let's just pause and then continue tomorrow. But I forgot to tell our roommate to not clean it up, like not put it back. So it got put back. Um, and I don't know how to reset it. I stared at it, went to my dad, I said, Dad, the chess game was reset and I'm upset. Which I think that's a huge improvement for me to be able to speak my emotions and say that I am upset. And my dad is like, oh yeah, well, you didn't tell them not to. And I was like, can I have a hug? And then I hug him, and then I feel better. I went back, I looked at the chess set, and I was like, maybe I should try putting it back where we were in the middle of the game before I forget, right? So at least I have maybe part of it, or at least I can rearrange it, take a picture of it. At least I have the picture, right? We can continue someday, maybe tomorrow. But then as I'm putting it back, I realized this is really hard, and that I just gradually started crying, and I got to a point where I'm literally like this face, and then I'm putting the piece back, and I couldn't, but at least I got some of it. Some of it is better than nothing because my dad have a better memory. Maybe if I have this partially put back part, maybe he will remember. Maybe not. It's fine if he doesn't, but I'm still upset. So I took a picture of the partially put back part. I feel much more at peace. That process took me, I don't know how long. Uh, that process took me a while. I'm just silently bawling my eyes out. I look much nicer on camera right now, but if I look myself in the mirror, I look like I have allergic reaction and my whole face is swollen because I was crying. I also just recovered from a cold, so like my nose sounds like this. So yeah, what I'm talking about stimulus discrimination means telling apart stimulus, right? So this makes me upset. It reminds, it's because I'm upset about this, but it's also because instead of just being upset, okay, sorry, start over. This thing made me upset, but the reason that it made me upset to this degree instead of just being a little bit upset, it's because there were so many times where I didn't finish my food, and I want to finish it, but someone already cleaned up my dishes, or there was some leftover, or something, or the dinner wasn't finished, and it was like my favorite part, or I look forward to finishing it, but then someone thought that nobody's gonna eat it, or that it's been um, there for too long or something, so they just threw it away. So I get really upset because then I could have eaten that, which I like to eat that, but they they threw it away to clean up, so I couldn't. Or that time when the a dollhouse that I made, kind of dollhouse, I don't know what's called, that I made, was thrown away without asking for my permission, and by my loved one, by someone who loved me. She threw it away, and I asked her where it is, and she said she threw it away. And I asked why she threw it away, and she said, oh, it was a bit dusty. That traumatized me so much. Like, she is very nice to me, and everyone's really nice to me, but that event traumatized me so much. That was like more than 10 years ago. That was one time, one event that traumatized me so much that I couldn't deal with anything being moved or thrown away or whatever without asking me. Even if I had like a ball of tissue and someone threw it away without asking me, I would be very sad because I was like, you don't know if I want it or not. What if I wrote something or drew something, or what if it's in a specific shape and I want to keep it as a sculpture or whatever? I do that, by the way. How can you just throw it away? I mean, yes, it is trash, but that trash looks almost identical to something that I might have wanted to keep. And if you threw that away, you're gonna traumatize me again. So that was just, every time someone moves something in my room, maybe they were cleaning up my room for me, or they opened a window for ventilation, or because they want to clean up for me because they were being nice or whatever, I just kind of get traumatized, because then I'm back to that stage where something I like got thrown away without my permission, without a second chance, without asking me, because it was dusty. I could have cleaned it. You could have asked me to clean it. You could have cleaned it for me. No, instead you threw it away. Not you, but like the female relative that loved me. She threw it away, and things like this keep happening where, like maybe I had a drink or I had my cup, and I intend on using it, or I just refilled it with hot water to the perfect temperature, but excuse me, but someone thought I was done using it and they want to be nice and they want to do the dishes, so they did the dishes, and the next second I had this perfect temperature bottle or cup of water with my cup in my cup that I just used, and then 1 second later, after my whatever ADHD, whatever you call it, after I'm done with distraction or other stuff, and I come back to my cup, it's not there. I could not find it anywhere. I end up finding it in the dishwasher and having a whole like emotional breakdown because someone washed my cup without my consent. You see how ridiculous this is? I see how ridiculous this is. But to me it's a big deal because I just had an emotional breakdown because someone reset the chessboard. I I had emotional breakdowns because someone moved my pencil or some, I forgot what, they moved my stuff. But it's not even that big of a deal. It's just that to me, because I lack the ability to differentiate between different things and how they're different, when, for example, when someone don't text me back, I would think that they could just disappear out of my life without saying goodbye, and that I am no longer safe in this relationship. Well, in reality, maybe they don't want to talk to me anymore. Maybe their phone was dead. Maybe they're at work. Maybe they were spending time with their family, right? It's more than that one possibility, but to me it just seems like they either hate me or they can disappear out of my life at any time. So I'm not good with not saying goodbye or people ghosting me because there's another traumatic incident. It is traumatic to me, but it's such a small incident that it's kind of ridiculous. It's just my roommate, another roommate, when I was like 8 or something, she left because she had to move or something, or she goes to another place or something. She's fine. She's alive. She's doing great. It's just that she didn't tell me that she planned on moving. Can you hear me? Can you even hear me? It's just that she didn't tell me or my mom that she will be moving out of our house um, until like very, very close to the actual day that she's moving. I remember it was a stormy night. We were at some random we were at China because I grew up in China. Some random pottery slash sculpture pottery looking thing with like pottery stuff on the wall. I was hugging my mom and hysterically crying, and she was kind of also crying, and she's trying to calm me down, but she couldn't because I was like, how can you just go without saying goodbye like that? She did say goodbye in her defense, but it was like way too close for my very young brain to process. So to me, she was very close to me, my best friend, whatever, not best friend, but like very good friend. She just literally disappeared out of my life and was never be able to contact it again. That is not true, however. That's the vibe I'm feeling at that moment and even now. But I know that's not what happened. What actually happened was she was living with us briefly, sharing the same bed with me, and she decided to tell us that she will be leaving a, a very short time before she actually left. But she did say goodbye. It was just very, very short notice, and I was not having that. So I was crying hysterically. I was very young. I was crying hysterically. And there are other times. So every time that when people ghost me, or when people stop talking to me, or when people start talking to me less without a gradual support, with or without gradual decline, or with no specific reason, I will either apologize. I will be like, I am so very sorry. I don't know what I did wrong, but I am so very sorry. Please tell me what I did wrong. It's okay if you hate me. I will go very desperately. I will even I'll inside, I don't say this, but I will inside, I'm thinking, I don't care if you call me the B word. I don't care if you start insulting my entire bloodline. Anything, it's better than silence, because silence means unknown, and unknown is the scariest thing. It's better if they say, oh, I want to kill your whole family, or because you're such a whatever, whatever, right? It's better for them to do that to me than for them to say, oh, everything's fine, and then ghost me for like 2 years. Do you understand? Um, so yeah, that's why I get so upset over very trivial things. Now, um, intellectually, I understand that just because someone cleaned up my cup, or threw away this tiny bit of food, or threw away a piece of tissue for me, or did whatever, or reset the chessboard because I didn't tell them not to, doesn't mean they're going to kill my family or